I traveled to 12 cities, 9 countries, over 3,000 kilometers in 14 days, zero money, €0 spent, no money, completely no money. This was a no money challenge. I made it completely first. Why did I do this? It was a challenge, it was a great challenge, but I also wanted to prove something, to show that it is possible to travel with very little money. And if I can travel with zero money, how much money do you really need to travel? I mean, a lot of people come to me and tell me, I wish I could travel like you do, but I don't have the money. If I only had the money, I would travel. And my answer is always the same. It is not that expensive to travel. So I say to myself, if I can do it with €0, that's gonna show people that you don't really need that much money, that you don't really have to be stopped by money if you want to travel. And I also wanted to show that people are really good. The world is a good place and people are really helpful and willing to help you with anything, and that's what I've seen so far. Actually, I was surprised seeing how many people were willing to help me and how far they were willing to go in order to help me. So this was an amazing adventure, the best adventure of my life so far, and it was very successful because I managed to, starting from Berlin, to go all the way through 9 countries and reach back my house. I was left in front of my house, and that was all completely without money. So how did I do this? The 3 main categories of expenses in a travel are accommodation, food, and how to move, how to travel, how to transportation. About the transportation, I only did hitchhike, so it's something I didn't really ever try before, so it was my first time as well, but after you understand a few basic concepts, it just go very easily, especially in the northern countries, and all these countries I've been in, it's quite easy to do it. In Italy it's harder, but you can still manage. You just go like this or with a sign and people will stop and take you wherever, if they're going the same way, of course. That's the only way I moved, and I moved a lot. I took 27 cars in 14 days, and that's the only way. For transportation inside of the cities, sometimes I use public buses, but very rarely, because I usually walked. And for that I used money, but only money that I earned, because I started without money. I emptied my wallet, but I found ways to earn a little bit of money. For example, in Germany, if you bring back bottles, like empty bottles, they give you a few money. Or I had a sign once saying, I'm from Italy, I'm trying to go back home without money. If you want to help me, you can give me a sandwich or something. And some people gave me some coins. Or a couple of times it happened that people offer me a few money, some money just to help me, just out of the blue. Of course, I never asked for anything. I never asked for food as well. For eating, it was actually very easy. I never really felt hunger because people would always offer me some food. In a way or another, there was always something to eat. I think I skipped like 3 or 4 times lunch, but I ate absolutely every day, and I never asked for anything. I never asked for food. People were just offering it to me, and if I was hungry, I would say yes. Otherwise, I just wouldn't eat. A few times I asked restaurants if they had any leftovers or food that they were gonna throw away, and they gave me some food. Or other times I asked. No, that's just it. 2 times I went to a Caritas. I went to like a church asking for some food, but that's because I knew they were giving it already. Otherwise, I wouldn't ask. And that was quite easy actually. I eventually lost a few kilos in the way, but that's because at the end I started refusing the meals even when I was hungry, because people were so kind, and I started feeling guilty. So if I could stay without eating, I would skip a meal. But there was always food actually, you know. There was always food. And also maybe a rule I had, because I didn't want to be a burden on people, you know. So I would just like if they were eating with me and offering me something, I would usually accept it, but if they were offering it while not eating themselves, I would usually refuse that because there was too much. But it went very well actually. And so I told you how to move, how to eat, and where did I sleep? I slept mostly on Couchsurfing. Couchsurfing is this amazing app that connects travelers and people willing to host you. So I would just send a message saying, hi, I'm traveling without money, I'm looking for a place to sleep, and I found a lot of opportunities actually. And it's amazing. It's an amazing thing because you get to connect with the people living there, and so you sleep at somebody's house and you share your time with them and you talk with them, and it's not just about money. It's not just that it's free. It's also enriching, I think, as an experience. A few nights I slept in at the house of people I met during the way. Actually, 2 nights I slept in a church. Once I slept in a bathroom in a gas station because I couldn't find a place, but that was because of bad time management. I ended up there late in the night, it was raining and I had to be there again at the early morning, so I just decided to sleep a few hours in the gas station. Where did I go? So as I told before, I started from Berlin. I went to Poland, Poznan, Warsaw, Krakow. Then I went this way, which was a huge mistake. I got stuck for a couple of days in this area, which is not very well connected, not many people passing here. Went to Slovakia, then to Budapest in Hungary. Then I went to Timișoara, to Romania, with an amazing truck driver. We cooked eggs on the truck and it was crazy. Then I went to Belgrade. This was actually the toughest part because I had to walk through the border, Serbian border, and it was night, raining, and that's how I ended up sleeping in the bathroom. And from Belgrade all the way to Zagreb in English, right? In Croatia. I stayed half a day, then to Slovenia, Ljubljana, then back to Padua in Italy, and back to my house. That's how I went for 14 days. 12 different cities, every night sleeping in a different place, always moving. And it was, I didn't really get to see a lot of the cities, of course, because 9 countries in 14 days, it's a lot. I would usually stay a few hours, maybe half a day in each city just to go around. But the most part of the travel was just about hitchhiking, talking with people, talking with hosts. I met a lot of people and I had an amazing time talking with them and, you know, getting to know so many different people and cultures. And also was crazy because every day, like, the language was changing and the currency was changing, and I saw a lot of things in very little time. But again, this was a challenge. I wouldn't normally travel this fast because you don't really get to see the places a lot. What did I learn? I learned that the world is an amazing place and people are so willing to help you. I mean, everything I did was because somebody helped me to do it. I ate because somebody gave me some food. I moved because people trusted me enough to give me a ride. I took 27 hitchhikes, 27 rides in 14 days, going all the way more than 3,000 kilometers. And all of this completely without money, and so I showed my point, I proved my point that I think it's not always about money, it's not just about money. I mean, if you want to do something, you can do it, you just go start doing it and money will adapt themselves. You will find a way, you don't have to be stopped by what you can afford or cannot afford. That is not the right way of thinking. I think that's what this travel taught me, that if you want to do something, you just go and do it. No need to prepare too much, no need for anything. And traveling this way, it's something I wouldn't do again, I think. I would travel with a little bit of money, but this is to show that you don't really need much money, because if you can just hitchhike, you can just, even if you go to hostels, that's gonna be very cheap. And this is almost for everybody. You don't really have to be rich in order to travel. If you want to see new places, new cultures, meet new people and see something different, travel around, travel in a cheap way. You can do it. You don't need to wait. You don't need to save money. You can just do it. Just do it. No need for money. Also, I'm really grateful to all of the people I met during this journey. All of them helped me in some way, and I helped them back in the way I could, of course, without money. But there is always a way to give something to the people, to give something that you're bringing with you. Sometimes it's just listening. Sometimes it's just your interest or telling your own stories, because many people were interested about what I was doing. I drew portraits to many of my hosts. I would cook pasta for them, or that's it. There is always something to give, you know. It's not just about money. Also, this gave me a great insight, you know, on what it is like to have no money, to be dependent on other people for food, you know. And this is gonna change probably the role charity has in my life, the role of generosity, because I've seen so much of that. And I kind of saw life through different eyes when you're, you know, hungry and just hoping for somebody to help you with food. And of course, this is not the same as it is for people who actually have to do it because they have no other chance. But I think this is the closest I can intentionally get to try to see their point of view. It was always very clear to everybody I met that I was traveling without money because of my choice, because I wanted to try to see if that was possible and not because I had to. This was very different, you know, and was always very clear. But people still wanted to help me, you know, because when they understood that I was not gonna eat, or that I would not eat maybe for some time, they would be very concerned. They would offer me food and everything. That was amazing. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share this because there's not much on the internet about traveling without money, and it is very possible. It is not even that hard, but you have to have the right motivation, I think, to do it. It's not just gonna be because you don't want to spend money, for example, because I think it's not gonna work the same. But you can still travel with very little money, of course, doing it in a respectful way. And yeah, the world is a nice place. If you want to travel, if you want some tips or some information about anything, just send me a message. You can send me an email or write me on Instagram or anything. And I'm glad to give my experience away about traveling with little money, and I don't know, anything. Just send me a message. Thank you. Bye.